Good morning. Good morning. Let us just take a breath together and admit we are in a very strange work. Strange, not because there is anything occult or secret about it, but because it asks of us the one thing the world never asks. We are asked to stop managing life by thought. That is unusual. We are very good managers of calendars, of conversations, of reputations, of budgets. Oh yes, and of God too, if we can get him into our plans. You need a sense of humor for this path, or else you will take your plans very seriously and your disappointments more seriously still. I want to give you a sentence, and I do not want it to become a slogan or something you embroider on a pillow. I want it as a slow rhythm in you. Seek me only. Seek me only. Not effects, not conditions, not changes in persons or places or things. Seek me only. It goes against the grain of the human mind, and that is precisely why it is the key. The mind, you know, will let you read a whole library, will let you plan 3 lifetimes ahead, will let you affirm from sunrise to midnight and worry in between. It will let you improve endlessly. But to make that one inward turn that dissolves panic at the root? That it resists. Is it possible we have been praying and living backward, starting with effects instead of the source? I wonder. I am wondering who I'm kidding when I try to adjust 1,000 outer pieces and then, as an afterthought, attempt to remember God. Have you noticed the order of our mornings? Coffee, headlines, hurry, a little managing of people in absentia while brushing our teeth, and then a whispered, "Bless this day," as we run for the door. And then we are surprised that the day feels like a race we did not sign up for. Seek me only. You see, that sentence is a reversal of order. It says, first cause, then effects. First presence, then whatever belongs to presence. Please do not mistake this for indifference to life. Oh, not at all. Not at all. It doesn't mean we ignore the bills, abandon the children, or leave the garbage for the neighbors. It means we refuse to bow before the bills, the moods, the headlines, as if they had authority of their own. We turn. We return. And in that turning, something quiet happens. Not a fireworks display, not a trance, just a sense, a little loosening, and the outer pressure begins to lose its voice. It is still there on paper, perhaps, but it is no longer the master of the house. Why do we skip this? Because seek me only takes the crown off the thinker. Thought is wonderful as servant and a tyrant as king. It enjoys the drama of fixing, it loves to be the hero, and it keeps busy so it will not have to be still. But stillness is where the door is. Let us agree, at least for this hour, to be willing to be wrong about our order. Let us dare to begin where all true beginning lies, in the source, not in the pictures. Seek me only. Seek me only. And watch what happens to panic and pressure when they are no longer believed to be the cause of your day. Now, if we are to be honest, and I think honesty saves a great deal of time, we must look at the medium in which our daily life swims. Thought. Not just the words in our heads, not just arithmetic and schedules. By thought, I mean the entire field of what can be seen, heard, tasted, touched, and smelled. The parade of images on the screen and in the window. The memories that rise like yesterday's perfume. The predictions that masquerade as prudence. The comparisons that quietly gnaw. Mine versus yours, today versus last year. All of that is one sea, and all day we are bobbing on it, sometimes surfing, sometimes swallowed, and sometimes proud of our swimming strokes, until a sudden wave called panic knocks us breathless. How does that wave form? It is very simple and very mechanical. The mind takes yesterday's evidence, edits it for drama, projects it onto tomorrow's blank wall, and then rings an alarm in the body. Danger, danger. The body, being a faithful servant, does not argue philosophy. It tightens. Heart quickens, breath shortens, palms dampen, and we say, I am afraid. But what is it really? A movie of yesterday playing on the screen of tomorrow, while you sit in the seat and forget you are in a theater. Is it any wonder the stomach does not know the difference? It is being told to run. Now, please listen closely, because here is where we take the sting out. This does not mean we despise thought. Oh, not at all. Not at all. It doesn't mean we stop using our intelligence. It doesn't mean we become careless about bills or reckless with our health. It doesn't mean we stop learning, planning, building. It means we stop mistaking thought for the place of God contact. We restore thought to its proper place, useful for bridges and recipes and train schedules, and we refuse to ask it for peace. That is mercy, not war. Ask yourself a few plain questions. If thought created peace, why does more thinking so often create more fear? If analysis were salvation, would any of us suffer once we had a pencil and an evening? If rehearsing worst-case outcomes were wisdom, would worry not be the wisest act on earth? And yet, have you noticed, the more we outline possibilities, the larger the cast grows and the longer the play runs. And still, there is no curtain call, no rest. Peace does not exist in that sea, because that sea is movement. And movement cannot sit still long enough to be peace. We do not cure waves by arranging them. We rise above the sea of thought. Not into blankness, not into some trance with eyes rolled upward. Oh, let us not dramatize. We rise into awareness, into an actual inner shift, a click, a little unmistakable, there you are. When that click comes, the body hears a different order. Stand down. And it does. The picture on the screen may not yet have changed, but its authority has been revoked. Panic cannot be solved on the level where it is generated. Peace begins the instant we consent to be above the sea, in presence, where the weather of thought cannot rule the atmosphere of being. Now, once we have seen that peace is not born in the sea of thought, the honest question rises, what then is prayer? If it is not the management of waves, if it is not better phrasing of requests, what are we doing when we say we pray? Let us be simple, because the simple will save us hours. Prayer is not persuading God, not instructing God, not getting God to do something that God has, up to now, been unwilling to do. Oh, not at all. Not at all. Is God a reluctant clerk we must sweet-talk? Is the infinite waiting for our outline before it can be wise? The very notion is comical if we let it be. Think of the sun. You cannot pray for a tan. You cannot petition for warmth. You do not bargain with sunshine. You do not bribe it. You do not flatter it. You step into it. You bring yourself under it. And because warmth is inseparable from the sun, warmth comes. Because light is inseparable from the sun, illumination appears. And if you stay there long enough, even your skin begins to confess it. Now, if we can accept that about a created sun, can we not grant as much, and infinitely more, to the source of all being? Why then do we try to ask for supply, as if supply were a thing separate from God. Why try to ask for safety, for harmony, for healing, as if they were goods stored in some warehouse apart from presence? You see the mistake. We have been asking for qualities as if they were detachable trinkets. But qualities belong to their cause. The sun never sends warmth ahead while it lags behind. God never distributes safety while withholding self. So prayer now becomes the single, humble act of coming under the reality that is already here. Seek me only. Seek me only. Not the warmth, not the tan, not the side effects. Seek the sun. Seek awareness of God's presence, the felt click, the quiet, there you are. And let the effects be added. They will be added by law, not by our eagerness, not by our bargaining. This is not passivity. Oh, do not make that error. This is the highest activity available to consciousness. To turn from pictures to presence, from the movie to the light that makes seeing possible. It takes more courage to stand still in God than to run after 10,000 shadows. And when you have touched that inner contact, you may find yourself led to make a phone call, to pay a bill, to bind a wound, to apologize, to go to the store. Do it by all means, but notice the order. We did not pray for the call to succeed, or for the bill to shrink, or for the store to have exactly our brand. We sought the source, and then the right act announced itself naturally, and the result bore the signature of peace. To say, "Seek me only," is to return to cause. To live, "Seek me only," is to let cause be cause, and to watch effects line up like well-trained children. Where God is, I am. And where God is realized, what belongs to God appears. Safety, supply, harmony, as sunlight appears when the shade is drawn back. Now, to stand anywhere with stability, we need a foundation. Not a new theory, but a simple seeing. If I hold up a tumbler, imagine one if you like. Let me ask you, where does the outside leave off and the inside begin? Is there an outside tumbler and an inside tumbler? Are there two glasses arguing about who is real, who is superior? Or is there but glass, one substance doing two functions, one face showing outward and one inward, but never two in being? You see it. The moment you try to point to inside or outside as separate things, you are pointing nowhere. There is but glass. Now lift that from kitchenware to life itself. God is our invisible selfhood. We are the externalized form. Two only in function, never two in being. There is not a God somewhere and a me over here trying to coax, to beg, to engineer benevolence. There is but God, appearing as individual identity, as you and as me, as the sparrow and as the saint, as the mathematician and as the mother. The instant we accept two-ness, conflict is born. The instant we return to oneness, conflict begins to starve. Look at it plainly. If I believe I am a private, sealed-off self, I must protect what is mine. I must compete for what seems scarce. I must defend my position, my image, my opinions. I must control you, or at least brace against you. And then, of course, I meet you doing the same. Sparks fly. The radio of the body picks up the static, and there we are, furious waves in the same ocean, arguing about ownership of the water. But if there is only one life, whom am I fighting? If there is only one mind, whom am I fearing? If there is only one being, what am I defending against? From whom do I steal when the substance of my neighbor is my own invisible selfhood? The questions unmask the comedy. Do not misunderstand. This is not passivity. Oh, not at all. Not at all. It doesn't mean we lie down in the street and call tire tracks the will of God. It doesn't mean we give up wise boundaries, moral clarity, or right action. It means we let action proceed from one presence instead of from the panic of two. In that awareness, a no can be firm without hatred. A correction can be exact without self-righteousness. A walk away can be clean, not sulking. A yes can be generous without fear of loss. The edge is gone because the imagined separation is gone. How do we make it practical? With the very sentence we have been given, seek me only. The instant a face rises before you and the old chemistry starts, you against me, inside against outside, my safety against their demand, interrupt it. Not with clever argument, but with turning. Seek me only. Turn from the picture to presence until the inner click is felt, until there is but glass. In that click, identity shifts. I am not a little I in danger. I am the showing forth of the one. And amazingly, right words appear, or silence appears. Right movement appears, or stillness appears. And the moment, no longer divided against itself, yields. Conflict fades to the degree two-ness dissolves, and two-ness dissolves in the realized fact. One life, appearing as many, living itself as us. Where God is, I am. And where God is realized, whom is there to fight? Now we must touch the point that both saves us and offends us. It is sharp, but it is tender. The personal I that has been faithfully managing, defending, arranging, scheming, apologizing, rehearsing, correcting. This I is not a bad person. Oh, not at all, not at all. It is simply a false center, a little foreman who took the big chair when the manager stepped out of sight. It cannot carry divine responsibility, and that is why it is always tired. I'm wondering who I'm kidding when I say, seek me only, and then 10 minutes later return the crown to the busy foreman who says, leave it to me, I have techniques, I have affirmations, I have a 5-point plan. That is exactly why we skip the sentence. Seek me only removes the claimant from the throne. Let us say it as a sequence, because the mind needs to hear it more than once. There is no my supply. There is no my wisdom. There is no my life. There is no my safety. There is no my holiness, my strength, my love, my capacity. There is God, being itself, appearing as supply experienced, as wisdom expressed, as life lived, as safety felt. The moment a little I claims ownership of any of this, limitation begins. The moment that claim dissolves, the channel clears, and what is already true shows forth without our strain. I live, yet not I. Do you see? Christ liveth my life. Not a church phrase, a physics of spirit. When cause is acknowledged as cause, effects line up, and nobody has to shout. We resist because we love being in charge. The ego is practical. It wants spiritual systems that keep it employed. Formulas to secure outcomes, levers to pull, words to say that, if we repeat them enough, will force the universe to obey. That is witchcraft dressed in Sunday clothes. Seek me only. We are not here to master effects. We are here to realize cause and watch mastery appear where slavery has been. Now I know the fear that rises. If I let go of me, will there be anything left? Will I turn into a gray rock? Will I forget my address? No, no. The surrender of the false center does not erase individuality. It removes the ceiling. The wave is not destroyed when it remembers it is the ocean. It is freed from slamming itself against the shore to prove it exists. Personality is not outlawed. Humor, talent, preferences remain. But the claimant is gone, and with it the strain. If you wish a little shock training, let us have an experiment. For the next 7 days, reduce the speech built around I, me, mine. Not as morality, this is not a sin hunt, but as discovery. Catch the reflex. I will fix this. I need them to. I can't. I always. Each time you hear it about to leap off the tongue, pause, turn, seek me only. Then rephrase if words are still needed. The work is being done. Wisdom reveals. Action appears. Or say nothing and let the click come. You will not manage people better by doing this. You will stop trying to manage God. And in that pause, you will feel the little loosening, the presence assuming its own government. Deny thyself. What could that mean except deny the false selfhood that insists on carrying what only God can carry? Die daily. How? By declining, moment by moment, to be the star of a drama for which there is no theater. You need a sense of humor here, or you will make a project out of dying and try to win a ribbon for it. Let the dying be gentle, 1,000 small abdications of the throne. Each time the foreman jumps up, smiling with charts and deadlines, smile back and point to the manager. Seek me only. And then watch the foreman relax, put down his clipboard, and become what he always wanted to be. A servant to presence instead of a tyrant over shadows. Freedom does not come by perfecting the little I. Freedom comes as that I retires, and the one lives its life as you, naturally, peacefully, effectively, without your outlining and without your fear. Now let us give our mischief a name, because sometimes a funny name robs it of solemnity. Bibbles. Baubles. Say it with me. Roll it around inside your mouth. Bibbles. Sounds like something you'd win at a carnival and lose before you got home. That is the point. A bibble is any effect we mistake for cause, any trinket we secretly elevate to savior status. The number in the account, the number on the scale, the test result, the contract, the text back, the apology, the promotion, the timeline, the approval, the image in the mirror, the opinion others hold, my being right at the dinner table. The mind hangs little halos on these and whispers, this, if only this. And instantly, we are the tail of a dog being wagged. Do not hear me despising the goods of life. Oh, not at all, not at all. It doesn't mean money is wicked, or health unspiritual, or success suspect, or good reputation a sin. It means that attaching undue importance turns us into slaves, string puppets, jerking to the tune of or else. I must have this, or else. Or else what? Or else I will be nobody, unsafe, unloved, behind. We have all felt the hook go in. There is an ache in the stomach, a tightening at the temples, and the old foreman leaps up to bargain with the universe. Here is the paradox that offends the foreman and frees the heart. The way to have rightful use of these goods is to cease grasping, battling, outlining how and when and through whom they must appear. Lay down the weapons. Not passivity, order. not indifference, priority. Seek me only. When cause is first, effects arrange themselves with an intelligence we cannot choreograph. When we chase BIBBLES, we scatter. When we realize presence, we gather. The sun does not give you warmth because you shook your fist. It gives warmth because you stood in it. Likewise, supply, harmony, right action are qualities of presence. They come with presence, not with plotting. How do we break a bubble spell? Catch the tagline. The moment the mind says, "I must have this or else," label it aloud if you can. Bubble. Smile at the drama, turn within, and do nothing outwardly until the little click registers. 10 seconds. 30 seconds. Seek me only. Breathe. When the click comes, you may still make the call, send the email, see the doctor, renegotiate the contract, or decline the invitation. But now the act is clean. It is not a sacrifice to a bubble. It is the movement of the One through you. And if, after the click, the act is to wait, you can wait without gnawing, because cause is seated and governance is felt. If you like props, carry the word in your pocket. When the price tag, the mirror, the headline, the silence after your text begins to preach doom, touch it and whisper, "Bubble, bubble," and return. You will not lose good by doing this. You will lose fear's leash. Mastery returns as slavery ends. Seek me only, and watch the baubles go back to being what they always were, tools in your hand, not gods on your altar. Now let us bring this right down to the instant when the drama feels most persuasive. Fear hits. The chest tightens. Breath goes shallow. The jaw sets. There is a knot at the stomach. The mind throws pictures onto the wall so fast you could believe it is running a newsreel in your ribs. Scenarios multiply. If this, then that. If that, then ruin. And then the body, faithful to its messages, rings every bell it has. All right. Name it without poetry. This is fear. Not my doom. Not an omen. Just fear is presenting. The moment you name it simply, the hook loosens half a notch. Now the protocol. Stop. Just enough to break the reflex. Soften. Jaw, belly, the breath. A tiny yield. And inwardly, without ceremony, begin. Seek me only. Seek me only. Not as a charm for the nerves, not to bully the heart into a slower beat. Seek me only because peace is not in the sea of thought, not in the weather of the body, but above it in presence. Keep the sentence gentle. Do not drive it with your will. You are not trying to conquer sensation. You are turning from it to the source of life itself. What is the sign? A click. It may be as ordinary as one clean breath finding you, as the shoulders settling a fraction, as the mind losing interest in its headlines. It is not emotion suppression. It is identity relocation. The center of you has stepped off the little rocking boat and is standing on the shore. The waves may keep waving, but you are not bobbing in them. There you are. That is the feel. Please hear what it doesn't mean. It doesn't mean we deny a human need or refuse a wise action. Oh, not at all. Not at all. It doesn't mean we stare at a bleeding hand and recite metaphysics while the kitchen towel looks on. It means action comes after contact, not before. Make the contact, 10 seconds, 30, and then do the obvious next right thing from the quiet. It may be to call, to step back, to pull the car over, to drink water, to say, "I'll respond in an hour," to pray more, to sleep. But now the act is clean. It is cause moving as effect, not panic trying to be God. Let us try a brief inward pause together. One gentle inhale. Let the exhale lengthen itself. This is only to give the body permission to stand down while you turn. Now, inwardly, seek me only. Seek me only. Not words only, willingness. Let the pictures blur at the edges. Let the floor of you be felt. Listen, no effort, until a quiet assurance, however slight, arises. There, that is enough. From here, let the moment announce its order. In fear, remember, you are not here to conquer sensations. You are here to rise above their sea into presence until the click is felt and governance returns. Then the very same scene that was screaming orders becomes workable, even kind, because its authority has been handed back to where it belongs. Seek me only, and let the moment be reordered by the one who knows it. Good. Now let us meet lack with the same honesty. What is lack as it arrives at your door? A thought picture, numbers on a screen, due dates in red ink, the calendar with 3 circles around Friday, the comparison with a neighbor's driveway, the mind's little abacus sliding beads back and forth until the stomach clenches. These are effects presented as a verdict on life. Not enough. Not enough what? Not enough numbers? Not enough God? The picture shouts, "I am cause," and you and I, if we are not awake, bow before it. Let us ask the question that disarms the spell. Am I trying to get God to send supply like a parcel through the mail? Or am I discovering that God is the substance of my being here? Is supply a shipment, or is supply a quality of presence? If God is the life of me, the mind of me, the being of me, how could supply be somewhere else awaiting shipment? You see the absurdity the moment we say it out loud. Use our sun logic again because it saves time. We do not pray for rays. We do not bargain for warmth. We enter the sun. We bring ourselves under it, and warmth is added because warmth belongs to the sun. Likewise, do not pray for supply as if it were a thing detachable from God. Enter the consciousness of source. Seek me only. Seek awareness of presence. Wait for the click. Not because the click prints money, but because the click restores cause to the throne where numbers have been sitting. When cause is seated, effects assemble by law. Please hear what it doesn't mean. It doesn't mean we throw away the checkbook or toss the budget into the sea and call the splash faith. Oh, not at all. Not at all. It doesn't mean we decline opportunities or refuse to work because God will do it. It means we refuse to worship numbers. We retire them from the altar and return them to the desk where they belong. After contact, you may be led to call the creditor and make an honest arrangement, to apply for work you had dismissed, to simplify an expense you were defending, to create what has been gestating in you for years, to sell what only flattered the ego, to study, to partner, to learn a new line, to accept help, to give help. Do it by all means, but notice the posture. Not struggle, not panic, not outlining how providence must move, Through whom? By when? The act comes out of quiet and bears quiet. Try it when the screen flashes a balance you don't prefer. Name it. Picture. Turn. Seek me only. Seek me only. Close the eyes if you can. Leave them open if you must. But inwardly, step out of the weather of figures into the presence that is the life of you. Wait for the shoulder to drop, the breath to unclench, the mind to lose interest in its arithmetic for a moment. There is the click. Now ask nothing. Listen. Let right movement announce itself. Perhaps it is to send the email. Perhaps to stop 3 subscriptions. Perhaps to bake and sell. To mow and bill. To write and deliver. Perhaps to sit still and not throw money at a fear that cannot be fed enough to leave. Is this irresponsible? No. No. This is the only responsibility. Response to ability. Outer-driven means whipped by pictures. Inwardly governed means moved by presence. We love the accountant. We just don't worship the spreadsheet. We honor numbers as markers. We do not kneel as if they were oracles. Lack dissolves to the degree we cease bowing to totals and return to source. And as surely as skin takes on sunshine, life takes on evidence. Ideas, opportunities, right contacts, right cuts, right increases, added, not wrestled. Seek me only, and let supply appear as what it has always been, the natural, effortless evidence that God is here. Now, let us take this sentence into the moment when a face is before you and it is not smiling. Someone is wrong, at least according to your best lights. Someone is loud, someone is hurtful, and instantly the foreman leaps up with a toolbox. Win, defend, explain, punish. He loves these tools. He will use them fast. And have you noticed, the more he uses them, the more the scene hardens? We keep the wound alive by rehearsing it, by prosecuting the case in our head and then in our voice, by demanding satisfaction from a picture as if a picture could pay. The reflex feels like strength. It is only two-ness flexing its muscles. Let us be plain and not sentimental. There are sharp words in the world. There are actions that need correcting. There are harms that require remedy. Oh, not at all. Not at all does oneness mean we paste a smile on a bruise. But if there is but one life, one mind, one being appearing as many, then who is outside to be our enemy? Where exactly is this separate will we must conquer? The battle we feel is a battle in thought. My outline against yours, my fear against your fear. We do not fix conflict by improving the outline. We rise above the sea of thought. We stand in presence. And in that click, the imagined outside dissolves. Then action, if any, is the movement of one, not the flailing of two. Here's how to do it when the heat is on. Before you reply, pause. If it is an email, let your thumbs rest. If it is the dinner table, take one sip of water you do not need. Soften the jaw. Let the first impulse pass, because the first impulse belongs to the foreman. Inwardly, without fanfare, seek me only. Seek me only. Not as self-hypnosis, as relocation. Turn from the face to the presence that includes you both, the one glass doing two functions. Wait for the click, a loosening, a little warmth, a loss of interest in scoring. There you are. Then, and only then, speak or act. What takes form from that click may surprise you. It may be a clean no, spoken once without an essay attached. It may be a correction, exact and calm. It may be silence that refuses the bait. It may be an apology you did not know you owed. It may be a boundary, a closed door, or a walkaway that carries no hate. It could even be help sought, law, counsel, mediation, moved by wisdom, not by vengeance. This is not becoming a doormat. Oh, not at all, not at all. It is becoming governed. A governed no is stronger than a furious yes. A governed step back has more authority than 10 lectures. If you cannot find your footing while the other is present, use what the mystics called absent treatment. Step aside, into a room, into a stall, into the car, and treat not a person, but consciousness. Seek me only until the sense of two dissolves and the one is felt. Do not try to change them by thought. Let realization change the atmosphere. When you re-enter, either nothing needs saying or the right word is given. And if nothing is given, say nothing. Where God is realized, right relationship is added by law. Respect, clarity, consequence, even reconciliation. Added, not wrestled. In conflict, the sentence ends the illusion of an outside enemy. Seek me only, and let the one presence speak its own word and move its own hand. Then the storm that demanded your thunder finds no lightning to borrow, and the moment, freed from two-ness, yields. Where God is, I am. And where God is realized, whom is there to fight? Good. Now, why does any of this work? Not sometimes, not when the weather behaves, but as a principle. Let us be plain. Presence is cause. Conditions are effects. Thought pictures, numbers, moods, headlines, even aches in the body. Effects. When cause is contacted, effects reorganize by the same law that holds planets to their paths. No pleading, no wrestling, no bargaining. The move is not horizontal, fighting one picture with a better picture. The move is vertical, above the sea of thought, into the felt click of presence. Then order shows up where confusion was lecturing, not because we deserved it, but because we dared to return to reality. Addedness is not a prize for good behavior. It is a principle of identity. Warmth is added in sunlight because warmth belongs to the sun. Guidance, timing, provision, harmony are added in realized presence because those qualities belong to God, and there is no God apart from God's qualities. We are not tipping a cosmic waiter to bring us a better plate. We are standing in what is, and what is declares itself. Where God is realized, what belongs to God appears, without our straining, outlining, or threatening the universe with our timetable. I can tell you how this shows itself. Not sensational, just steady. A quarrel gathered like a storm, and one of you paused. Seek me only. And the sharp reply lost its oxygen. The conversation deflated without a winner or a loser. An invoice sat on a desk like a judge. You turned. Seek me only. And the very hand that had been frozen found a simple call to make, and the arrangement, fair to both, was made without drama. A man halfway to a bar felt his feet slow. Seek me only. And turned home, not because a sermon scolded him, but because another appetite rose. A parent sat at a child's bedside. Seek me only. And while the thermometer still did its dance, fear's command broke, and next right steps became obvious and effective. An inbox held silence. you turned. Seek me only. And unasked, the email arrived that opened the hinge you had been rattling. Not magic. Order. Now, let me protect you from a mistake that would undo all this. This is not a spiritual lever to pull for outcomes. No, no. We are not learning a phrase to shake the vending machine of heaven. Seek me only is surrender to truth. There is but God, one glass, not two. Outcomes follow because they cannot help it. Effects answer to cause by the nature of reality. If you aim at effects, you drop back into the sea and call it faith. If you aim at cause, you rise, you feel the click, and then whatever belongs to that altitude appears in its own timing, its own wise form. So we return the sentence to the center line. Seek me only. This is the whole method and the whole protection. When the mind grows noisy, when numbers preach, when a face flames, when a habit beckons, seek me only. Wait for the little loosening, the assurance, the click. Then act if action is given. Rest if rest is given. Why will it work? Because cause is first. And when cause is first, effects are added by law. Where God is, I am. And where God is realized, nothing essential is missing, and nothing non-essential can tyrannize. Seek me only, and let God be God. Let us be practical. Freedom does not stay merely because we had a beautiful moment. It is stabilized by a rhythm. Not complexity, rhythm, a narrow funnel. We will not begin the day or end the day without turning within, and we will not pass the flashpoints without correction. That is all. Seek me only at the bookends and at the places where life tries to yank the wheel. Proving ground, not performance. Morning first. Before the feet go hunting slippers, before the hand remembers the phone, before news or invoices or yesterday's email headlines leap upon you, pause. 10 seconds. 30. If the cat announces breakfast and the garbage men audition for the symphony outside your window, bless them, but still, pause. Inwardly, quietly, seek me only. Not a shopping list, not a day plan for God to stamp, but an arrival. Wait for the little click, a warmth, a settling, the sense that the manager is at the desk. There you are. Let one sentence come from that presence if it wishes. Where God is, I am. And then rise. You will find that entering the sun first thing spares you an hour later of shivering in the shade you created by forgetting. Midday, the world will do what it does. A Bible will roll across your path with a neon halo, an email in red, a face bristling, a number preaching doom, a mirror with opinions, a headline with sirens. The foreman grabs his clipboard. He loves these moments. That is our cue. Interrupt the reflex by the smallest humane means. Let the thumbs rest over the reply. Place the cup down. Soften the jaw. Take the unnecessary sip of water. Step into the hall. Inwardly, seek me only, seek me only. Not to hypnotize the scene, to relocate identity. Wait for the click, the loosening, the loss of interest in scoring, the sense that one is governing both sides of this moment. Then act, if act is given. Send the email clean. Say the no clean. Offer the yes clean. Or say nothing, which is sometimes the strongest sentence in the language. The measure here is not eloquence, but frequency of return. 20 short turnings are better than one heroic meditation we forget by noon. Evening, we complete the circle. Not a court of condemnation, oh, not at all, not at all. A gentle review. Where did the personal I take the chair again? Where did I outline, wrestle, defend, or beg a bibble to save me? Notice, smile even, and hand it back. Seek me only. Let the accounts with people go to zero. Release them to the one glass. If amends are needed, note them for the morning from the quiet. Do not rehearse speeches. Give the day back to God. Lay the head down in oneness, not in self-analysis. Sleep becomes trust when the manager closes the office. Do not wait for perfect conditions. The phone will ring in the middle of Amen. The brake on the bus will sing its own theology. Children will decide that now is the time to test lung capacity. None of this prevents the click. We are not monks escaping life. We are waves remembering ocean while splashing in traffic. The contact can find you in a line, on a ladder, over a sink. So let this be our rule of life. Morning contact, midday correction, evening release. Not as virtue signaling, but as sanity. Cause first at the bookends, cause restored at the flashpoints. And by the quiet law of addedness, effects will take their places without our strain. Proving ground, not performance. Seek me only, and seek me only again, and once more, until the rhythm of return becomes the song by which you live. Let us be still a few minutes. We have said enough for one morning. Words have done their work. Now we let the sea grow quiet. Hands can rest. The breath can do as it pleases. We are safe. No performance here. No self-improvement projects. We are simply consenting to what is already true. Gather, if you like, the pictures of the day. Faces, numbers, errands, that one conversation with bristles on it. And hold them lightly, as if in the palm. Not to analyze, not to solve. Bless them and place them gently at the water's edge. Let the tide take them out a little way. We are not losing anything essential. We are giving effects back to the sea of thought. And now, rise, just a little, above that sea. Inwardly, without strain. Seek me only. Seek me only. Not loud, not fast. A willingness more than a sound. Seek me only. Let the edges blur. Let the foreman sit down. We are not trying to think a better thought. We are resting the mind from managing and letting awareness notice awareness. Seek me only. Wait now. We are not manufacturing. We are recognizing. A warmth may announce itself, or a loosening, or the very ordinary relief of one simple breath that lands all the way. Perhaps the interest in the pictures drops 2 degrees. Perhaps there is the tiniest assurance. There you are. That is the click. That is the whole secret brought from word into life. Stay with it a moment. Let it have you. Seek me only. Please notice what it doesn't require. It doesn't require an angel with a trumpet or a silence without traffic. Oh, not at all, not at all. It doesn't require worthiness points or a faultless record. It requires only this turning, this rising above the sea of thought into the presence that has never been absent. Where God is, I am, and here God is. Now let the promise be sealed in you, not as a vow, but as a knowing. When fear presents, this same turning suffices. When lack preaches, this same turning suffices. When a face flames or a headline shouts, this same turning suffices. One sentence as a single return within. Seek me only. Until the click. Then action, if action is given. Rest, if rest is given. Effects will take their places by the law that warmth belongs to the sun. We will be quiet 1 minute more. No reaching, no bargaining. Just the recognition of the one glass, not two. The invisible selfhood and its form, never separate, only different in function. Let consciousness rest in its source and feel itself at home. Seek me only. Good. Carry this with you as the simplest of disciplines and the deepest of freedoms. Not for special people, not for a certain temperament. This is the nature of consciousness when it turns to its source. The heights are here, in this instant, wherever you stand. Seek me only, and let God be God.